strap in and get ready for After Hours with TC Restani. This is Abigail Harwich, executive producer, welcoming you to the show. And now, TC Restani!
All right, everybody, welcome to the After Hours of TC Restani, the podcast. I'm TC Restani, emanating from the Palatial Podcast Penthouse. And I am here with my esteemed panel of experts, and I'm going around the horn to introduce them to you right now. Quincy Briscoe, the milkman. How you doing over there, brother?
Oh, I'm doing real awesome. We'll get into what made this whole weekend awesome.
We will get into that.
You probably already heard anyway.
Well, the fans haven't, so we'll get back to that. South Boston Jeff, what kind of little mixtures do you have down there tonight?
Hey, what do you say? What do you hear, Quincy? And, I just finished my little meatloaf dinner, and I got my vapes, and I got some gummies. But, as Quincy said, we got some great news. Great news.
Okay, wonderful. And there he is, my mentor, the one and the only Ricky Bittman, who has his... what kind of hat is that? What is that, a Russian hat or is it?
No, this hat's taking its time. No, this is my official coonskin cap. Throwback to the 50s. Ralph Cramden and Ed Norton, members of the Royal Order of Raccoons.
Scott Fargus from A Christmas Story.
Exactly. He sported one. Very
Daniel
nice.
Boone sported one.
That's right, Daniel Boone. Remember the time we were up at George's Coney Island? And
Yes.
that guy there looks like Daniel Boone.
It's true.
So that's my coonskin hat. Very good for this time of year, I must say.
It is getting a little nipply outside.
It
not
is.
In a good way.
No.
Not in a good way.
Not in that Dolly Parton way.
Yeah. You know, I feel about
this is
cold
the
weather.
400th time you mentioned Dolly Parton. You have a fixation with Dolly?
I'm just fixated on the fact that she appears to have such nice boobs, and we've never got to see them. We've never got to see her naked. It's just one of the mysteries of life. I mean, she's probably keeping the best set of tits in the world away from us.
And how old is Dolly now? She's got to be in her 70s.
Oh, easily. You know what? Did you ever see the meme on Facebook of Dolly dressed up from the best little whorehouse, and she's got the corset on, and and somebody wrote, because her famous song was Jolene. You know, you familiar with that?
Jolene, yeah.
Jolene, don't take my man away from me. And somebody wrote, what could Jolene have been packing to take this woman's man away? And it's true, because she was smoke show in Best Little Whorehouse.
Oh yeah.
Well, the thing I loved about Dolly Parton was Here You Come Again.
Here you come again.
2 doors down, and she was a 9 to 5.
Right.
And then, I saw just once, the first time I even heard about it, was that reunion 9 to 5 Christmas special.
You keep mentioning that, and I haven't heard anything about that.
And no one can find that.
Yeah, are you sure that happened?
Well, it was like a reunion 9 to 5, and she directed it. I think she wrote it, directed it.
Well, maybe he knows something we don't.
Yeah,
Well,
because
I
let
kid
me
you
tell
not.
you, the closest I've seen to a 9 to 5 reunion was in the Beverly Hillbillies movie.
Yeah, good point.
Well, wasn't there a really bad TV version of 9 to 5?
Yeah, there was a TV series, I think.
Well,
I think Mindy Cohn played all 3 women.
Which she walked by us at the Rhode Island Comic Con.
She was there?
She did.
Damn it, I should have went.
MC was there.
I should have stayed. Actually, you know I was asked to leave, right?
I mean, 9 to 5 was excellent.
I want to get into that.
All right.
I want to get it because before we get into them meeting the celebrities, now you were supposed to meet us down there.
I was there.
And you were there before us.
Yeah.
Now we walked in, and I was texting you saying, "RB, where are you? Yeah. We're here," because you got there you were there on Saturday.
Yeah, I was there, and I saw him first in line for Paul Williams.
Okay, so now
Little Enos, I'm sorry.
Little Enos. Now, why did you get thrown out?
I had on my dual set of credentials for the TC Restani Production Studios on one side, and the Cubby Smack'em's Collectibles on the other.
A little heat there.
And because of the legal wranglings right now, because Galen is because of the contract negotiations, both forms of credentials were considered invalid.
And they just escorted you off the premises?
They said you either pay for a ticket or we have to ask you to leave. And I said, well, I was here last night. And they said, well, I'm sorry. Last night was last night. We're doing our job today. You have to leave or you have to pay for ticket.
Did you write down who the person was?
No, because you know what? Everyone has a bad day, and it could have been a mistake, but I really was very embarrassed because some people did see that, and I'm trying to do damage control.
Yeah, and would you leave your wallet in the car or something? I would have spotted you $60.
You know what? It wasn't that. I was just said, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wait, Ricky Bittman doesn't pay
Right.
to go to these shows.
Oh, yeah, no shit.
I cut my finger trimming out my own 8x10s.
Well, I remember that. And
That's how I cut my finger.
I know.
And I said, wait a minute. It just didn't add up.
But were you booked to be a guest there? Well, or were you just pulling a Virgil and just bringing in a table?
Yeah, it was sort of like Virgil. It was like sort of guerrilla tactics. Put it this way. If somebody recognized me and they said, my goodness, can I have your autograph? I would have given it for free. But if I did find some real estate next to somebody, Buddy Hackett's nephew was there, the ventriloquist, I would have sat down next to him maybe. He would have let me because we go way back.
Really?
Yeah.
I remember Buddy Hackett's son was in the movie Hamburger, the motion picture with Dick Butkus.
Yeah. God rest his soul.
I was upset about Dick Butkus dying.
Yeah, he was a tough guy.
He's a funny guy, too.
Yeah.
I enjoyed his movies.
He was a hothead. Used to see him on was it Battle of the Network Stars?
Sure.
He used to throw a fit. My mother didn't like him.
Now, when you got escorted out, why didn't you just wait for us and ride back with the limo?
Well, you guys were having a good time, and I was very bummed out.
So where did you go?
I went up to what it was like Federal Hill.
Yeah.
Had a nice Italian meal.
Okay.
And then I Ubered it home.
Okay.
You know, like I said, this is really the first day I felt today. The first day I felt 100% Bittman in well over a month.
You know, you've been under the weather.
Yeah.
You had a little.
We're very fragile creatures as human beings. It doesn't take much.
And right now, I want to send out my best wishes to our good friend Colonel Bull Montana.
Oh my God, yeah.
Who's a little under the weather and in the hospital.
I had troubles.
Who's in the hospital right now, and we're all thinking of you, Colonel. And
that's right.
I hope you pull through there because it wouldn't be the world without you.
No, and like I said, I thought I had troubles.
Right. And, you know, he's got the
Sepsis.
Army,
oh boy.
Our Army insurance taking care of him.
If anyone can pull through this, it's him.
It's Colonel Bull Montana. Like I said, he's a cockroach. He'll be the last person walking the universe, and then technically everybody in the world will know him.
That's true.
But let's get back to some happier topics here.
Yes.
Well, not really happy. You got thrown out of the Rhode Island Comic Con.
It was suggested that I leave.
Now, was it the Rhode Island Comic Con people or the Civic Center people?
It was the Rhode Island Comic Con. He had the credentials.
He had the credentials.
He had a laminate on.
See, they didn't give us laminates this year. We had the laminate pass, but not the lanyard.
Well, I always keep the two things I never need, or two things I always need when I do a show with is that thing. Flip it over for the Restani Production Studios or the Cubby Smack'em show.
Okay. All right. And did you get to meet any celebrities while you were there?
No, except for Quincy.
And
I would have.
Listen, I didn't want to I didn't want to put a damper. You were very excited, and I didn't want to make it all about me. Oh. As I get older, I'm trying not to do that.
Well, you got 360-something days until the next one.
That's right. That's the way.
That'll be good.
I'm looking forward to pre-Thanksgiving, which we'll talk about later.
Oh, yes.
I'm very excited.
Now, back to the autograph boys over here. We got Sal Boston, Jeff, greatest celebrity stalker of all time, and celebrity stalker in training, Quincy Briscoe. Mm-hmm. You went down there, Quincy, and your main topic or goal for that day was to meet Little Enos Burdett, a.k.a. Paul Williams, the Academy Award winner, Grammy Award winner, Emmy Award winner, everything winner.
Everything went, the timing basis, everything just went like clockwork. You know, because, first of all my fans on the panel here must have had a little talk. Plus, I got there early. We all got there early. The trick to when you go to celebrity conventions, get there early, for one thing, especially if you want to meet someone like Little Enos Burdett. So we no sooner got there, parked, the parking space, and the car was like right next to each other. And then I met Chewbacca. And then that was real fun. Went right into the door. No second, got right to where I'm supposed to be. Everyone had a little talk. It's like, he just wants to make no more than anything meet Little Enos. So people grabbed me a chair.
I grabbed him a chair. I stole it from Tony Todd, actually. I stole your chair from the Candyman.
Tony Todd.
And if you're watching this on YouTube right now, there's the actual picture of Quincy sitting in the chair waiting for Paul Williams to return.
And then they got me a Post-it sticker. And it's like, here, put this on, and if you want, you can go for a little walk, and we will see it. You'll be the very first one to. But I sat right there in the chair like, But I just took a very brief walk, came right back, sat back in the chair, met some other nice people that you'll see posted. Just ask the fans here to show you the pictures.
They're on the screen right now. We can see them.
But finally, little Enos arrived, and then it's like, you better, and then they brought it to his attention. He's here. And so he sat right down. Okay, Quincy Briscoe, so what kind of autograph? Which one am I? This one right here. I was like, he wants to meet this one right here. The big and little Enos Burdett. And what would you like on the autograph? To meet from little Enos Burdett. And that's just what he signed. And we all took a group picture.
It was a great picture.
The best picture.
Right after the picture, and right after he was talking to Quincy for a bit, was when I snagged his attention, and a very cool picture of him and with Kermit the Frog from the '70s. He signed for me, and I pulled him aside and I said, "So, Mr. Williams, how long you been sober now? Clean and sober from alcohol?" And he was like, "Whoa, well, 33 years, my man, 33 years." And he's like, and I was like, "That's fantastic. We have something in common. I gave up the booze at age 52." And he was like, "Really, really?" And he put his hands on my shoulders and he leaned in and touched his forehead against mine and he said, "You're a good man with a good heart. Keep it up." I mean, when somebody like with of Paul Williams' caliber, the guy who wrote The Love Boat, and he told me I have a good heart.
That's great.
Imagine. I mean, that was something very special between me and him. And then what did he say to you on the way out, Quincy?
As we shook hands, he says, "Give me 500 on the Bandit." Is that awesome or is that awesome? And I was like, yeah, we couldn't have got along any better. That just like...
Yeah, I'll have to say he is now officially the nicest celebrity, the nicest man I've ever met.
Yeah, I knew that was going to be the case with him.
And that isn't the first celebrity flesh you had connected to that day as well. Who else did you...
I met
flesh bond with.
I met Vicki Lawrence herself. Herself and as Mama from Mama's Family. So when she was down at the table, I was surprised because absolutely nobody was coming over to talk to her and everything. You had a comic legend sitting right there. Yeah. So I went over and introduced myself. I told her how much I love the Carol Burnett Show, and and all that. I said I'll be upstairs in a few to get my Mama Family experience on, and she was sitting right next to Dorothy Lyman. Naomi. So, she was pretty good, but she wasn't looking as good as Vicki Lawrence.
Did she give you any of her good lines from Mama's Family?
No, she asked me where I got the... She asked me where I got my my sweater, my drug rug, and I said, I picked it up over in California or something like that and everything. But I told her that I thought Naomi was so cool, like such a floozy, and she said thank you, and she leaned over and gave me a little Eskimo kiss.
Nice.
That's real awesome. Now, she probably gave you one of her lines.
She wasn't. She was just really polite and everything, and her and Vicky were just batting back and forth, joking around. It's not very often you get to see those two together these days.
No, Vicki Lawrence and the nights went down in Georgia. That's like I think she did that the very first thing before Mama's Family, right?
Yeah.
So then it was my time to meet, my time to meet Mama and everything. It was going pretty good. I was waiting in line. Here's a special picture. Look who was also in line here. Look who photobombed. I call this photo the T-bomb. Hey, fool,
Mr. T.
You met Mr. T?
No, Mr. T.
Like a guy we know that dresses as Mr. T. He was there. He was there as his character. Vicky was there, but I got in there and everything, and it was the very opposite of nice Vicki Lawrence. She was absolutely mean and nasty. She was like, "Hey, you, get out of the picture. All right, it's your turn. Hurry up. That's fantastic. Like, I'm a big fan. That's fantastic. All right, move. And then she hit me with her purse, and I was like, "Gee whiz, Mama." Everybody laughed. I gave her, and that was it. That's her line moves awfully quick, and that's why. She rushes everybody, and she's mean and nasty.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah, and it probably gives her a release and everything.
Yeah.
She's able to take out all her aggression, but by being this character.
Yeah.
And she was playing a 70-year-old woman on Mama's Family.
Yeah.
Now she is 70.
Now she is 70.
It works perfectly.
You must have loved that to get
Yes, it was the perfect, and it was a perfect picture, as you can see. I mean,
being hit by Mama from Mama's Family.
no, yeah, like not many people can say they've done that. So,
You must have attracted a huge crowd.
well, there were a few. Well, I didn't attract a crowd, but there was a crowd of people around to meet her, and they all got a kick out of the situation. Quincy. But yeah, it was, like I said, it was a fantastic day. When like a dream come true. I mean, Paul Williams. I remember that was like the very first record I got from the Melrose Public Library was the Muppet movie soundtrack.
Mm-hmm.
I listened, so I can say I've been a fan of his music since I was like a 10-year-old boy, and I loved the Rainbow Connection, and can you picture that? Can you picture that? I mean, that was like a Frank Zappa song.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, it was just great music. He did the music to Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas, one of my favorite TV. Well, I remember I gave you that for your birthday like a year ago.
I remember that.
Yeah, like, I mean, it all comes around. I mean, he wrote the Love Boat theme. He wrote songs for Elvis, for Aretha Franklin. I mean, we're talking...
Carpenters, of course.
Yeah, the Carpenters. We're talking about a musical genius and
Evergreen, Barbra Streisand's big hit. Evergreen.
Yeah, and
A Woman in Love.
I would say it was a very inspiring meeting because I'm about to put more music in my clouded conversations, and it was very inspiring.
Yeah,
because like Paul Williams said one time, he said if you want people to like the music you write, it's got to come from the heart.
True. Mm-hmm. There's a great clip on YouTube of when he appeared on Johnny Carson in the Planet of the Apes makeup because he was filming Battle for the Planet of the Apes. And he is just so hilarious in this thing because first of all, there's no doubt that he had a couple of drinks. You can tell by the way he's talking. Excuse me, but look for that clip because it's absolutely hilarious. And Carson just can't believe he's sitting there talking to Virgil, the orangutan. From
Okay, so it's over 30. What's that, like 35 years ago or something like that?
So, yeah.
Okay, all right.
Closer to 50.
Yeah, he was definitely drinking in those days.
Because he did tell me he gave up drinking at age 50.
Yeah,
So.
this was probably around 1973 or 4.
Easily, yeah.
So you're talking 50 years ago.
And he wrote also the soundtrack, I think. Remember that movie that starred all the kids, Bugsy Malone? Remember they were a bunch of gangsters and they were all like teen actors or young actors at the time?
Can't say as I do.
You don't remember that? There was like the whole cast was kids and they were playing like 1930s gangsters, like Al Capone type of thing. And I think the machine guns shot pies instead of bullets.
No.
I know what you're talking about, but I can't recall the name of it. But
I thought it was Bugsy or something like that, maybe.
Yeah.
No, Bugsy was the movie with...
Maybe
what's
it was
his
Bugsy
name?
Malone then.
What's the guy's name?
Johnny Depp?
No.
Warren Beatty.
Warren Beatty.
Yeah.
Warren Beatty.
Yeah, that came after, of course.
Right.
But I'm pretty sure he wrote all the music to that. Scott Baio was in it.
Oh, well, you're talking legendary status.
Well, we're talking sign of the times.
Was that, you just mentioned Scott Baio, that was way after Charles in Charge and all that,
that was
right?
way before.
Yeah, way before even Happy Days.
Yeah.
Really? So what was this now?
I'm looking it up here. You guys can talk.
Sure.
But that, and also he wrote I think we mentioned this on this podcast before, he wrote the theme song to The Boy in the Plastic Bubble.
With John Travolta.
Yep. And John Travolta sang the song. What would they say if we up and ran away from the roaring crowds and the worn-out city places? It's a great song.
Oh, yeah.
Leave us alone.
A whole bunch of them.
It was just called Bugsy Malone.
Yeah. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
It was
1976.
Who was the girl in there? Was it Christy McNichol?
It looks like it's Jodie Foster. It is.
That's right. That's
it is
who it
Jodie
was, yeah.
Foster. She was 13 years old.
Yeah, it was a cast of kids.
You know who Scott Baio would have actually been a really good person to play Alfalfa if you look at him in this movie.
Yeah, that's right.
His hair's
Now,
he would have been
from
okay.
the Little Rascals?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember Scott Baio also had a brother who acted a little. He was in that.
That was his cousin.
Oh, the one who was in that Bad News Bears movie?
Jimmy Baio.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's Shroud.
He played Carmine Ronzani.
Well, I'll have to say that was one of the first movies I ever seen in the drive-in. So it was a double feature, that and The Return of the Pink Panther.
Well, I actually enjoyed the Bad News Bears and Breaking Training. With
I liked it. Yeah,
it was okay. Let them play.
Yeah, let them play.
Let them play. You just mentioned they don't even have any more drive-ins, but those were some of the good old days, like the 50s of like Grease and all that. But maybe back then it was affordable too.
Yeah.
You know, the refreshments were affordable. The movie was affordable.
Yeah, I think we had this conversation on the way up there, on the way up to Rhode Island.
Yeah.
Geez, driving movies.
I verify Paul Williams did do all the music to that movie. There's a couple drive-ins left. There's one in Mendon, Mass, and there's one down in. Maybe that's what we should do for a road trip next summer.
About driving?
Go to drive-in.
I'll go.
Let's all go to the lobby.
Let's all go to the lobby.
Now, speaking of the Bad News Bears and Breaking Training, this was the song that was playing. It became like a #1 hit. Yeah, let me see if I can. This reeks 70s.
Oh, yeah, it does. Life is looking good.
Remember they were driving around that stolen van?
Yeah,
Jimmy Baio.
That Spanish kid with the fat cheeks and everything with the cowboy hat. Pimping.
Remember they tried to pick up that hitchhiker, that smoking hot broad?
Oh.
Yeah.
And then they opened the door.
Popped out and she ran.
She took off. She didn't want to get gangbanged by the bears.
Whatever happened to Jimmy Baio?
Well, he was on soap.
Yeah, but that's like whatever happened to him.
I guess the soap ran out, I guess.
I mean, Scott's kind of active on social media.
Oh, well, yeah, he's a big Trump guy.
Yeah.
My mother thought Kelly Leak was the ugliest boy ever. She's like, that Kelly Leak. What a punk.
Yeah, he had bad teeth.
Yeah.
He looked like a kid. Remember that kid that we kind of grew up in the neighborhood? Maybe your brothers may know him. Some kid named Dave. He looked like Kelly Leak when I was a kid. He lived across the street from me.
Oh, I remember him now.
I'll obviously bleep out his last name for the rebroadcast, but you remember him? He looked like Kelly Leak.
I was just going to say, I know a kid growing up named Lathy Day.
He had that same greasy parted to the side.
Yeah.
Like a shoulder length do. I remember him.
He weighed about like 110 pounds, soaking wet.
There was always a kid like that, real malnourished,
and he was
run fast.
Well, he looked like Kelly Leak. That was the only reason I brought his name up.
Every neighborhood.
That brown denim. Like I remember, I bought a brown denim jacket with the tassels like that. My mom yelled at me, "You ain't wearing that. You look like that damn Kelly Leak."
Boy, she had it in for Kelly Leak, huh?
Well, remember in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, that was the coat that he had on. Remember that DiCaprio had on when he was in the cowboy scene.
Yeah,
it was the Kelly Leak jacket.
Oh yeah. Like I found that that particular jacket at a vintage store and everything, and I came in wearing it. My mother went nuts.
Yeah, that guy was supposed to be like after Bad News Bears. He was like he was nominated for Academy Award. You thought he was going to have a huge career. He vanished after losing it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He was in what's the movie that he was in that he got nominated for the Academy Award? Wasn't it like Breaking Away or something like that?
I thought it was the Bad News Bears.
No.
Wasn't?
No.
No, there was some of the bike riding movie. I can see
Breaking Away. Yeah.
I can see them all like lying on the in the quarry.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the one guy dived in and he went inside the
it was
fridge.
Like a Dennis Quaid movie.
Dennis Quaid was in it, and
Dennis Quaid.
Yeah, he was in it.
Yeah, this was in very early, or maybe it was Randy Quaid. It was
no, it was Dennis. Definitely was Dennis. Because I've seen that movie a bunch of times, and the guy who played
the some
his
Italian.
father was the father in what's the
I like a Kennedy.
What was the father in that movie with the Jesus?
What movie are you talking about there?
Long Duck Dong was in it. What movie?
16 Candles.
16 Candles. He played her father.
Paul Dooley.
Paul Dooley, the guy who played Wimpy in Popeye.
There you
go.
That's
I know who he. I love that.
He was the father in Breaking Away as well.
And he was also the guy from Strange Brew.
Yes.
I know that guy. He kind of talks like this. Paul Dooley.
And
Excuse me.
he was one of the cops in Death Wish at the very end.
That's right.
A very underrated film. He's
He's still alive. He's like 100, like almost 100 years old.
He was on Gilbert Gottfried's podcast,
he's
too.
always on the. He was always on the Tracy Ullman show.
Yep.
And
Great character actor.
And one of my favorite underrated movies of all time, Shakes the Clown, Bobcat Goldthwait's movie about alcoholic clowns.
Yeah.
That guy played his boss. You clowns are on dope. But
He was a great comedian.
yeah, he was good, and I will always remember him for playing Wimpy in the Popeye movie.
Does that have anything to do with the song 16 Candles, or it's just something way different?
Not really. Has nothing to do with it, actually.
It's the girl. The girl in it turned 16.
I was never a fan of Molly Ringwald. I'll admit that.
She was good in that movie. I didn't really care for her in anything else. She was a pain in the ass and Pretty in Pink. She always had a plus on her face.
Yeah, she she rarely smiled. That's why she never did it for me.
Yeah.
And besides movies with the Rat Pack and everything, she also did this movie in the '80s where she committed suicide in the car and everything. That was a made-for-TV movie.
Oh,
it was a big when teen suicide was the big thing.
It was all the rage.
Yeah.
Well, they had a whole movie called Heathers.
Oh yeah. I remember that.
Remember they had
Christian
a song,
Slater.
Remember they had a song in it? Teenage suicide. Don't do it.
Remember that fat girl ran into the street?
Martha Dump Truck.
Yeah.
Right.
At the end, she was in the little wheelchair going around circles.
With Winona Ryder.
Yeah.
Isn't today her birthday, or was her birthday recently?
She got a great set of tits.
She does. There's no stranger things about that. She's always been on my list, Winona Ryder. Not
Great-
Martha Dump Truck.
Great scene in Bram Stoker's Dracula. She's running down the stairs. Ay. Coppola shot it in a little slow motion, so he knew what he was doing.
Well, she was originally going to be in Godfather 3.
Yes, I did remember
She was going to
that.
be Al Pacino's daughter.
Yeah.
But she had a double booking or something.
Yeah,
I think she wanted to do Mermaids with Cher.
Yeah, she'd probably better off. Godfather 3.
It grows on you.
Still
It grows
no,
on you.
it
Well, they
doesn't.
re-edited it now. It's now like known as
Coda.
the Dakota. The death of Michael Corleone. Gee, just give away the ending.
Joey Zaza. I mean, I love that actor, but what's his name?
Joe Mantegna.
Joe Mantegna and everything. He was a Joey Zaza.
Oh, no. You're talking about Andy Garcia.
Andy Garcia, yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's on the
All
horse and he
but,
shoots him.
Oh, he's pretty good too. He's pretty good.
Joey
but,
Zaza was
but,
Joe Mantegna.
Yeah, that's why I'm talking about. But he's a pretty underrated actor. But he's like the low budget gangster.
I'm on a low budget.
I recently rewatched Godfather 3 because this time of year, for some weird reason, Showtime is on a Godfather marathon.
Yeah, I was
kick.
just watching a little bit before he came up here.
It's on almost every day.
Godfather 2 was on tonight.
Okay, that's a good one. I actually prefer 2 over 1.
Do you know Art Carney, for his role in Harry and Tonto, beat out Al Pacino for Godfather 2 for Best Actor?
See, I think Godfather 2, Al Pacino was a zombie in it.
Yeah.
He should have got it for Godfather 1.
Yeah.
I agree for the Godfather 1. But Godfather 2, he was a zombie.
Yeah.
And,
I'll give you that.
and what's his name as Frank Pantangeli? He should have won the Academy Award.
Yeah.
De Niro won it. Obviously, he was young Vito.
Yeah.
But I think that, he's got me waiting in a lobby.
A little bit of this, Michael Corleone, that.
He's
He's drinking from the hose.
Fredo, you son of a bitch, you look great. Frank Pantangeli.
Frankie Five Angels.
And Frankie Five Angels, I forget the actor's real name, played Angel the Bum on Welcome Back, Kotter.
Really?
Yep.
Oh,
I remember that guy. hey, Angelo, aren't you sick of being a bum? No, because I'm a happy bum. Yeah, I remember that character. Good stuff. Also about The Godfather, do you remember that guy who got shot in the head and it took him a second to fall down? Actor by the name of Lenny Montana.
Okay, no, that was Luca Brasi. He didn't get shot. He got strangled.
Oh, okay.
You're talking about.
I'm talking about Lenny Montana, the original Bull Montana.
The original
himself.
Bull Montana. Yeah, he played Luca Brasi.
Oh, okay.
But he didn't get shot in the head. He got strangled by piano wire.
Yep.
Yeah.
But you're thinking about the guy, Captain McCluskey, in Louis' restaurant when Michael Corleone came out of the toilet with the gun and he capped Virgil Sollozzo. And then the cop, Captain McCluskey, he
took one. Yeah, he took one to the head and everything, and it took him a second to keel over.
And Bittman, what was he eating?
The veal. Best in the city.
Best in the city. I'll have it.
His last meal. You know who's a great underrated character actor? Joe Spinell.
Yeah, who played the guy in Rocky.
He was Mr. Gazzo.
Gazzo in Rocky, and he was Willie Chi-Chi.
Yep.
In Godfather 1 and 2.
Yep, and he was also the dispatcher in Taxi Driver.
That's right, he was.
You gonna bust my chops?
Anytime,
If you're gonna bust my chops, you can take it on the arches right now.
That's a great line.
Yeah.
Take it on the arches right now.
And he lived on the Joe Franklin show.
Did he
was
really?
Always a guest on that.
Now, do you know? I heard that there could have been there might be a Rocky prequel or something like that.
Well, where Gazzo is actually Rocky's stepbrother.
Yes,
Yeah.
I heard about that.
I did, yeah.
Isn't that amazing when you think about it?
We heard a rumor about this last summer, didn't we?
We did, actually,
Yeah.
not wrong.
We did talk about it up here.
Something, Mr. T's.
No, it has nothing to do with Mr. T.
No. One of someone's son. It was a rumor.
You love Mr. T.
Oh yeah. Well, come on.
You love him.
Of course, I love him. I grew up with some of his best movies.
He's doing a little Kramer from Seinfeld.
It was from Rocky 3.
Wait a minute, you grew up in some of Mr. T's best movies?
Well, don't forget, he did like Rocky 3. He did like I Paid the Fool, and then like
obviously that made him a star.
I Paid the Fool. He did DC
Was that a movie?
Cap.
Was that a movie? I Paid the Fool?
No. It was a TV show. I Paid the Fool. Yeah, I Paid the Fool.
The A-Team.
And he did the A-Team.
What would you say that Mr. T's most serious movie is? Probably Rocky 3, right?
I think that was his first and most best role, Clubber Lane.
Yeah?
Yeah, he just...
Well, I'm just trying to think of a serious role for Mr. T.
Yeah.
I mean, I think his most dramatic role is him standing in front of the Capitol building in DC cab saying, "I ain't never gonna love, never." I mean, that's got to be his.
That was his Patton moment right there.
Yeah.
See, if I was going to reshoot like Christmas Carol, he would have been like the Ghost of Christmas Past.
Really? Now I'm going to get back to Godfather 1 just for 2 seconds. Sterling Hayden was the Captain McCluskey.
Yep.
Who was he almost? Who did
was
he
he?
almost get cast as?
Same movie?
Nope. A couple years later,
I have no idea.
he was in the running to play Quint.
Really?
Yep.
You mean that guy
I can't see anybody else doing that.
But I'm just saying. But when you think about it in a way, if you stand back,
Sure.
he could have done it.
There's no question he could have done it, but man, that's kind of mind-boggling.
Right. I think the finalists or the people that Spielberg asked to play Quint before Robert Shaw.
Yeah, one of them was an actor that I admire very well, Oliver Reed, and he turned it down.
Oh.
Yeah, he actually turned it down because he thought it was gay. Have you seen some of his roles?
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, do you remember that movie where he played the devil in that John Travolta movie?
Yeah. Talk about gay.
Well, it was him.
Well, it's funny because Paul Lynde also read for that role.
For really?
Yeah.
Lee Marvin.
Y'all know me.
That would have been great. Lee Marvin and Sterling Hayden, and of course they ended up with Robert Shaw because the producers, Zanuck Brown, worked with him on The Sting.
Now, have you heard the controversy about the play?
Oh, Richard Dreyfuss.
He's not too happy with his
He
portrayal.
made me look like a fool.
I guess he went backstage afterwards and he really put a damper on the whole thing. He was very honest with his perception of it.
Well, you know what? Maybe this Shaw should have kicked his ass too.
Yeah,
I wish the hell that would come. Why isn't that on tour by now?
Seems to me that all those candidates for Quint were all drinking guys.
Yeah.
We're all the hard drinking. We're all the hard drinking.
Paul Lynde,
Can't get out with 3 barrels. How many barrels you can?
Well, I heard Quincy was in the
3 barrels again.
Oh my God, he went down with 3 barrels.
Just ask me what rope to pull next time, Jay.
Imagine if Jaws was Paul Lynde, Truman Capote, and Charles Nelson Riley. Can you imagine that?
You fool around with these things and they're going to blow up.
Screw around with these hacks and they're going to blow up.
Quint, show me that ring again. It's just gorgeous.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
You're going to need a bigger boat.
We're gonna need a bigger boat. This boat isn't big enough for the 3 of us in the shark. We're gonna need a bigger boat.
I like the process.
Droopy, I think.
Come on, blow up.
Blow up.
Let's change the movie from Jaws to Blow.
Smile, you son of a bitch.
Smile, you son of a bitch.
Oh, the gun dislocated my shoulder.
Now smile, you son of a bitch.
We'll blow up the shack with blank.
This could be a new podcast. We'll recast movies. I did this with my buddy Mike from Southie one time, and I said, all right, John Ritter was the guy in Jurassic Park, the doctor, the professor in Jurassic Park.
Grant.
And remember the Australian hunter?
Right.
I would have cast Hulk Hogan.
Muldoon?
Yeah. Loading team, step away.
It's a raptor, brother.
She's smart.
What's she gonna do when the 24-inch pythons Jurassic World on you?
And Ruth Buzzy was the Laura
God.
Dern.
Oh, really?
And who did I have as the old guy? Probably Paul Blind again.
Ruth Buzzy.
Yeah. Welcome to Jurassic Park.
There you go. That's a new pod coming in 2024, ladies and gentlemen.
We'll call it the Recast Podcast.
There we go. The Recast Podcast coming soon
That's a good idea.
to ears near you. Unbelievable. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to take a big time commercial break, and we'll be back, and the madness will continue.
Do you love seafood? Hi, I'm Captain Dave Marciano, and I want to invite you to check out our new website, angelicaseafoods.com. Now you can get fresh local seafood shipped overnight from Gloucester's fishing families to yours. angelicaseafoods.com, the finest, freshest seafood New England has to offer.
From the boat to your door, get Angelica Seafood's premium seafood, sustainably caught and packaged at angelicaseafoods.com.
Welcome back to the After Hours of TC Restani, the podcast. Ricky Bittman, what's been going on in your world?
Nothing. I just dropped episode 5 of season 4, and I called it mixtape.
Mixtape. I saw the Instagram post.
Yes, and I'm still learning Instagram.
Oh, excuse me, or as the kids call it, IG.
IG, but I had to put it out there, and it's based on the fact that I was doing some yard work recently, and I found in a shoebox in my garage a mixtape that I made.
Really? What year?
It had to be the 90s because some of the songs are from the 90s. Now, everyone's saying, well, wait a minute, those were CDs then. But I still had a Chevy Lumina, and I had a Chevy Lumina that had a cassette player.
Okay. What was on this episode of the jukebox?
Well, this was like, I used the songs I found in this mixtape, right?
All right.
And I played it, and I was like, all right, so I'm going to put all these songs on. There was some local Boston bands. Like, remember the Del Fuegos? Remember by any chance the Del Fuegos?
I remember the Del Fuegos.
I Still Want You. And they also did a Miller High Life commercial. You know how I feel about Miller High Life.
Sure.
I had some Marshall Crenshaw on there. Marshall Crenshaw he played in the original touring company of Beatlemania. He played John Lennon.
Really?
And he went on to play Buddy Holly in the La Bamba, Richie Valens.
So he likes playing dead guys.
Yeah. But he's great, too. I mean, very underrated cat. And what else did I have on there? My God, some great tunes. And they're escaping me at the moment. But I just dropped it yesterday. And you think I would remember all the songs. And I introduced a new segment that I dedicated to a good friend of mine from Southie. His name is the Spin Meister.
The Spin Meister.
Yeah, and what he does is he goes out and he recommends like unbelievable great music. Like he turned me on to this guy Shuggy Otis, who wrote the song "Strawberry Letter 23," which if you heard it, I'll play it for you after this. You will recognize it. It was recorded by the Otis Brothers. The Otis Brothers. Was it the Otis Brothers? Whatever. But his he was a young kid when he wrote it. I think he was like 23. No, that was the name of the song, but. He was in his teens when he wrote this song.
He's very talented, is what you're saying.
Yeah, but this guy Spin Meister, he turns you on to some jazz, some folk, some punk, some rock, you name it, but a lot of heavy on the jazz stuff. And it just opens new musical doors. So every week I do the Spin Meister approved selection of the week.
Okay.
So
the Spin Meister.
But I'm excited. You know, I got five new episodes under my belt, the whole totally new format, trying to keep the episodes quick and all about the music.
It's all about being quick.
Yeah, Quick. My buddy Quick plays the bass.
Did he also sell chocolate milk?
You know what? And he spells it the same way. I'll have to ask him because he does spell it Q-U-I-K.
Okay.
He's the bass player for That's Ben Gardner's Boat. And what better name for a band, right?
Hey, we were just talking about Jaws.
When are we going to get these guys in the studio?
You know what? You have the stroke.
They need that board you're saying all the time. That board.
An audio board.
We gotta get
a music guy.
We gotta get that.
We got him back. Yeah, we can.
What if they did a show at like a pub or something? Could we just film that?
Sure.
Or would we need the board?
They would have one at the pub, probably.
All right.
What do you mean the board?
Like
Like
this.
The
soundboard.
Yeah, the soundboard.
the mixing board, Quinn.
Mixing board,
You
okay.
should know these things, you musician, you.
That's true. Yeah.
We should do it next time they do a porch fest. If whatever comes first, we should get the cameras out, the real cameras, and shoot it.
You know that?
Yeah, I
Crazy
know.
as
We
it
were
sounds.
talking about that. I mean, imagine if we just put together ourselves up a little joke band. We just practice a few songs. And
Yeah.
Just, go out there on the Porch Fest and just.
Well, just
Wouldn't
think.
that be a
Well, just
great-
think that Porch Fest that they were playing is almost coming up again.
Yeah, we'll do the. I can do the thing that. I can do hand claps.
I mean, we can play songs, the easiest songs in the world that nobody would know, and
Yeah.
people would just like glub, glub, glub. We're floating down a sea of love, love bubble.
We could do the. We could do our own version of "Farewell and Adieu to you, fair Spanish ladies." We all know that one. Farewell and adieu, you ladies of Spain, for we've received orders for the sail back to Boston, and so nevermore shall we see you again. You sound pretty good. 3 Irishmen and an Italian.
But if we're gonna do that, then we have to clue in.
I'm sorry,
Show
2 Irishmen and
me
2
the way.
Italians.
But if we're gonna do that one, then we have to clue in. Show me the way to go home.
Boom, boom,
I'm tired and I wanna go to bed.
I had a little drink about an hour ago, and it went right to my head. Wherever I may go, on land or sea or foam, you can always hear me singing this song. Show me the way to go home.
I mean,
Will be a hit.
well, I mean,
Oh, boys.
Oh, boys, he's come back for his new feeding.
Okay, Joe Quinn.
Vince, I just got one thing to say to you.
Oh, boys, he's coming back for his new feeding.
I got the perfect name for this group:
What is it?
the Hooper Party.
Foreground my ass.
It covers so many things.
The Hooper Party. Unbelievable. So, Quince, you had a wonderful time we established at the top of this program down at the Rhode Island Comic Con. Poor Ricky Bittman got thrown out. And but Jeff, you met some other celebrities earlier in the month of October down in New Jersey. Can you give us the 411 on some of the big time celebrities you met down at the Chiller Theater?
Oh, sure. Well, not too much of a big scene going on at the Chiller Theater because somebody ended up pulling one of the fire alarms again. I mean, but I did get to meet Danny Glover.
Yeah.
It was my. It was kind of my mission to make him laugh and do my Ving Rhames impression. He thought it was kind of funny, but but everybody was a little shaken up because the fire alarm just went on. And I walked over to Danny and I was like, "Meow, kitty cat, I'm always where the money's at." And he was like, "Hey, I remember that shit. Yeah, that's cool." Tried to videotape it too, but tried to do the little spy camera thing, but put my camera in my coat pocket and everything, and I got a little footage of Danny. I did catch him laughing and everything, but I'll post a picture of that eventually. But speaking of Jaws, I was talking to Chrissy Watkins, Quincy.
Really?
Yeah.
You were talking to Chrissy Watkins?
Sure, I was victim number one.
And what did Chrissy Watkins say?
Oh, she's she just said she was just really polite. Said how happy she was to do it. She just swapped a couple of stories, but it's always good to talk to Miss Chrissy Watkins.
That's another one of the very special autographs I have.
Yeah, I know. We got yeah. That's where we picked it up from and everything. It was cool. You know,
I'll tell you, I have some of the very best autographs a guy like me could ever ask for.
I know. Ever since your birthday. I mean, I had to go down to the Vineyard to score you that autograph of the three main guys.
No, even in the water. But the three lineup, to me, you know what that looks like is an anniversary of Jaws.
Oh, yeah.
The way it lines up, I was telling my everyone who was looking at the picture, the way they lined it up doesn't look like an anniversary picture.
Yeah. I was down at the Vineyard a few years ago, and that was on somebody's wall at one of their shrimp restaurants, and I said, "Name your price, I gotta have it." So, there was like a few good. Can you think of anybody else that I met down?
I can't think of anybody. It was one of the worst shows I've ever been to.
You're right. Good times were had by all.
Yeah, it was more fun during their car ride down actually than going to the damn stupid convention.
Oh yeah,
I met Ma Ingalls from Little House on the Prairie.
Oh yeah,
really?
Yeah,
Wow.
Karen Grassley.
Jesus.
I don't think she's ever done conventions before because she was just overwhelmed by all the weirdness going on.
Yeah.
Some guy brought in a piece of wood that he supposedly said was from the outhouse on Little House on the Prairie, and he had like 4 or 5 signatures on it. So she's signing a piece of wood from the shit house on Little House on the Prairie.
Yeah, well.
it was like, what are you going to do with that?
Somebody should have debriefed them.
I mean, it's like, what are you going to do with this thing? Hang it on the wall?
Well, don't forget
hang it
now.
over my television set.
Little House on the Prairie was like the kind of thing that grew up on a farm.
Yeah.
And they worked at an old school. Maybe the piece of wood was gone to their lumber yard.
Well, could be the lumberyard, but I think he said it was from the outhouse.
That's probably you're right. And then people are autographing the piece of wood.
Well, yeah, the person who was on Little House on the Prairie was. But
I think it's awesome. Yeah, because as a
okay,
result,
I guess you do.
well, as a result, the show's still on.
Quincy, when it comes to Jaws autographs, you've got some good ones. I've got some good ones. I mean, I've got the Jeffrey Voorhees, the Alex Kittner kid, and
What does this have to do with Little House on the Prairie?
well, we're just talking about autographs in general.
Oh, okay.
Sorry to get off the line.
That's okay. It's all right. I was just curious. I was wondering if Ma Ingalls was in Jaws and I missed the scene. Was she inside one of the barrels?
No, but you're the one who pointed out in last time we were watching Jaws 2 when the chief was returning home one night. He had the 2 barrels on his from part 1 on his porch, using them as flower pots or something.
That's right.
When
he
are you going
did.
to get one of those for the Restani deck?
I've looked. The only thing I can find are beer can opener ones about this big. If I could find one of those, that wouldn't be on my deck. That'd be my living room. What are you talking about?
No, those rain barrels, they sell those blue rain barrels. Those look like them. You might be able to paint one.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Empty keg or something like that. But
we'll have to find out. That'll be. But you know, but before we open up the deck in May of next year, I'm going to have one of those things.
That's a paint project for you. Yellow paint.
There you go.
There you go. Banana yellow.
Okay, then.
Yeah, speaking of Jaws autographs again, one of the only ones I don't have. I never met Murray Hamilton. He was a good one. I never got the chance to meet him. I also liked him in the Amityville Horror.
Yep.
I think he died in '86.
Did he really?
Yeah, I think the last thing he did was he was on an episode of the Golden Girls.
Yeah.
Murray Hamilton.
I always wanted that sport jacket with the anchors on
The
it.
anchors.
Yeah, that was a nice one.
Now, who would reelect him?
You got a chance. He appeared in Jaws 2. He was reelected. I mean,
You're the mayor of Shark City. Everybody thinks you want these
And
beaches
if he was a
open.
Democrat on Martha's Vineyard, he'd get reelected no matter who he killed. Let's put it that
that
way.
bum was smoking cigarettes on hospital grounds and everything.
That is true.
And if you listen to that part when Brody comes in after that scene, you can hear him go, August. He's like mumbling just, August. August.
What are you talking about?
Mike,
Sorry, the
he's on
summer's
that
over.
beach, too.
You're the mayor of Shark City. These people, you think you want the beaches open. I was only thinking that that's right. You were thinking about that. That's why you're going to do the right thing. That's why you're going to sign this, and you're going to pay that guy what he wants. Look, my kids were on that beach, too. Sign, Larry.
Okay,
What kind of ice cream? What kind of ice cream did Michael ask for?
Coffee.
Coffee.
I just got a text from Abby, who's up in the booth. Jaws is great, but I really want to know, what did Ricky Bittman have on Federal Hill down in Rhode Island?
I had chicken parmesan.
Chicken parmesan? No.
Yeah, I had some nice Sicilian little necks to start my meal.
Right.
And a little garlic bread and some lovely Chianti because I wasn't driving home.
Wow.
Chianti Ruffino. Delicious, smooth red wine.
Was it good?
Oh, God, are you kidding?
I used to love going. Now, that was on Atwell's Ave, wasn't it?
Yes.
Right. Because at the end of Atwell Ave is one of my favorite places.
Yes,
in Rhode Island.
we know. I stayed out of there.
Club Fantasies. Quincy's
Those
been
were
there.
the days.
Quincy's been to Club Fantasies before.
Yeah,
I remember specifically you were asking one of the strippers who was a friend of ours, and you were asking, she was up on stage doing her act, and you go, "What kind of milk do you like?"
That was one of the most classic moments of my life. Everybody gets a kick out of that out of that story. I mean, the strippers there were pretty impressed with you, Quincy, because you roll in the finest sequin jacket possible and everything. You went in there and they took you right in and everything. And
I have no money.
asked you for a dance. First, Quincy's like, "Sure," he does a little dance, but she's like, "No, a personal dance. Come on in there." He gets himself a nice lap dance and everything, and she's like, $40, honey. And he's like, "What? You never said you had anything about money. I don't have any money." And she what was she gonna do? She went and told her boss. He got a good laugh out of it. But everybody, yeah, that's how to do it, Quincy. Yeah, show him who's boss.
I wouldn't even know. God, it's been so long. Like, what are they like now in those places?
I haven't been since the pandemic.
Yeah.
So I have no
Does
idea.
the Golden Banana still exist?
It's there. The building is there.
I don't know. I've driven by the few
Now
times.
keep drinking the milk there, Quincy.
water.
Okay, all right, but keep drinking the milk. Even Paul Williams.
It's not milk.
Paul Williams told you what? Stop drinking milk.
It's not milk.
No, that's water. But all the coughing you're doing because of your mucus buildup is from what? Milk.
No, it's something. One day, pretty soon, I'll have it looked at.
What do you got, emphysema or something?
I'll try an inhaler.
He's been doing good tonight.
Because it's water, not milk.
I'll try an inhaler.
But Paul Williams did. Jeff, you were there.
Right? Yes. Yep. He loved you, Quincy.
And what did he tell you?
He said, "Lay down." Yeah, he did. He said, "Lay off the milk. You got you got to look after your own health, Quincy." And
If he can give up the booze, you can give up the milk.
That's right. I want the medicine man and the milkman to rock on.
Right.
Rainy days and milk always get me down.
And another thing about the milk, I'm going to get a little bit personal, Quincy, but I hear at the house you go through a lot of toilet paper. How the hell are you supposed to know if you're done wiping if you shit solid white? That's why you go through so much toilet paper. How do you know when you're done wiping your ass?
Yeah.
But that's a
when
personal
the toilet paper's
reference.
clean.
No, the toilet paper, because you shit solid white, my friend.
Do you?
Now, Quincy, do your turds look like Moby Dick?
Or do they look like Casper?
Hey, here's a question.
The white whale.
Now, granted, people clean up after their dogs now more than they ever did, but back in the day, why don't you see white dog shit anymore?
I don't know.
I found out recently.
Well, what happened?
I was listening to Tell 'em Steve Dave where they talked about this.
What happened?
Well, apparently, the manufacturers of dog food took an ingredient out that was known to be not very healthy for dogs. That's what was causing every now and often you'd see the white dog shit on the sidewalk. Now, I grew up in Southie. For some reason, the area up by the telephone building near Broadway, that was like, there was more dog shit on that block than anywhere in the entire world. And every now and then you'd see a little pile of white shit.
Well, I just want to make this perfectly clear right there. A couple of days ago, actually, it was like a couple of weekends ago. I was sleeping. I was kind of run down, and I had one meal that day.
Yeah.
I ate a bushel of asparagus.
Oh,
Let's just say I would have been proven to be Irish for the next couple days.
I believe it.
It looked like it was just like this green machine.
Asparagus, that's intense because like you can eat asparagus and like 3 seconds later your piss stinks.
Right. Well, this was like, I looked it up. It says because there's so much chlorophyll in the asparagus. Chlorophyll.
Isn't that what they used to knock out King Kong?
More like Borophyll.
No, but my dad eats a lot of asparagus. He's onto it that it cleans out your urinary tracts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's a natural diuretic, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Well,
It's like tea.
My father
Good.
drinks a lot of tea too.
Oh, my old man
And
did,
he rolls with fish oil. He always keeps that around. I was like, "What the hell is fish oil?" He's like, "You'll learn when you're older."
yeah, they say it's good for
Actually,
you.
you should do it now. Forget about when you're older.
Yeah.
Do you have fish oil, Quince?
No, I don't drink fish oil.
Why not?
No.
How are you still breathing? That's
You
what I
eat
wanna
fish?
Tuna fish
know. He eats tuna fish.
with that mayo.
Like a good,
Toasted tuna fish sandwiches with
a
mayo.
good piece of salmon. Mm.
Never a fan of salmon.
No,
I love
the
salmon.
only other
Crispy
fish
skin.
I really like but once in a while is haddock. Well, and that
Haddock's
tastes
good?
And that tastes good with tartar sauce. Mm-hmm. I know there's many different kinds of fish, but
Do you like fish sticks?
sometimes, yeah, believe it or
Do
not.
you like to put fish sticks in? Do you like to put them in your mouth?
Where else am I going to put them? Yeah, where else are you going to put them?
What are you, a gay fish?
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-bum.
Oh, that was on South Park, but
Yeah,
it was
it was.
a great episode. Great
Kanye episode.
Yeah, because Conway just couldn't get the joke.
So in our fleeting few minutes here on the program, we're just
No, we're having a good time.
we're having a good time. But this is probably our last program before Thanksgiving.
Oh, I can't believe it. Yeah,
Smell
time
the
flies.
So
turkey.
and what
Time flies
happens
when you're having fun.
and what happens the night before Thanksgiving?
We get together.
We get together. It's a tradition down here at Restani Production Studios. For years, we used to watch Hooper, not starring Richard Dreyfuss, but starring Burt Reynolds.
Yep.
And we used to have the Hooper party, where everybody would come down here and watch Hooper with Quincy. And then we transitioned last year. We had the DC Cab party, and you got blackballed by Adam Baldwin.
Yes, he stopped me on Twitter. Excuse me. Yeah, he blocked me. Wake up, Batman. Yeah, he
all
did.
because you sent a picture saying, "Hey, Adam, watching DC
Yeah,
Cab."
we're together. We're watching DC Cab. We're fans, and I can't get any updates from. He's all politics now. Anyway.
And well, so this year we're going to be doing the 1980 cult classic comedy Used Cars, starring Kurt Russell and a bunch of other people.
We should put our picture up and tag
shit.
Kurt Russell.
There goes a perfect good
I bet you he'd
bumper
roll
sticker.
with the punches.
And this movie was directed by Robert Zemeckis, who directed Back to the Future. It was written by Bob Gale, who wrote Back to the Future. And it's I don't know why people don't consider this as an 80s classic, because it's fantastic.
Yeah, it is very underrated, and I need to see it a few more times. I've only seen it once, and I don't remember that much about it. I remember Lenny and Squiggy are in it.
Lenny and Squiggy are in it.
Great.
But the thing about Kurt, I remember when I met Goldie Hawn at the Barnes & Noble at her book signing, and she was extremely kind to me. She called me honey, and she whispered in my ear, "You look like Kurt." And I was like, "Well, thank you." But that was a little a nice thing to get from one of my favorite actresses ever. But yeah, I can't wait for this Used Cars party.
And I understand, Quincy, they're going to be recording this. So Bittman, South Boston, Jeff, and yourself, I will be in the booth controlling the cameras. You guys are going to be having a used car party. We'll be recording it, and it'll air sometime in 2024.
It's going to be awesome. It's going to be unique.
Totally.
Totally unique.
Totally.
Now, can you give us that line, that famous line that you mentioned the first day I met you, when you came walking through the doors of Restani Productions? You laid this line on me. Action, Quincy.
Yes, sir. We blew the shit out of the price, motherfucker. Just we blew the shit out of all our prices down here to New Deal used cars. So you all come on down. Did you hear what I said? New Deal used cars. So you all come on down. Did you hear what I said? I have heard you with unmistakable clarity. You son of a bitch.
This is what you got to look forward to at the used car party,
I can't wait
ladies
for
and
that
gentlemen.
part to come on.
Oh, you'll know when that part comes on, trust me.
So what time are we meeting?
We're going to meet Thanksgiving Eve around probably 7:30.
7:30. That's good.
It's going to be, and the movie's, I think, about an hour and a half, maybe a little bit longer. And
You bring snacks?
You can bring anything you want.
Can I bring something with yeast in it?
You can bring anything you want.
Yeah,
If you
I'm
don't
going
mind
to
me
be
asking,
bringing
how come
plenty
yeast?
of edibles, plenty of smokables, plenty of whatever
How come
I need
yeast?
to be happy for this movie.
The only thing that had yeast, biscuits, whatever. But how come you have a thing for yeast?
No, beer has yeast in it.
I'm just wondering.
It's an old joke. I said I don't drink anything that doesn't have
And
yeast
didn't
in
the
it.
original Mrs. Bittman have a yeast infection?
That was Biscuit, and that was
Oh,
her
there.
name. Jesus, I forgot about Biscuit.
It's all about the yeast,
It's all
ladies
coming
and gentlemen.
together. It's all-
And Quincy, we're going to end this show right now by singing everybody's favorite song, Yeast Bound and Down.
Rolling up and trucking. We're gonna do what they say can't be done. We got a long way to go and a short time to get there. I'm east bound back on Bend and Run. If you go hard on the pedal, if you go hard on the brakes, that alcohol we got run the brakes. Boys are thirsty in our killer, and this beer and Texas killer. We'll bring it back no matter what it takes. Eastbound and down, reaching where the world. We're gonna do what they say can be done. We got a long way to go and a short time to get there. I'm eastbound, just buck up and then run.
Give me $500 on the Bandit.
I'm in a goddamn hurry. Give me $500 on the Bandit. Let me have a double sandwich like the pepper. Make it fast. I'm in a goddamn hurry. Please drive home carefully, because we want you back in one piece.
And we never close.
And we never close.